welcome to my first ever long form vlog and to 2026. We're bringing long form content back this year, baby. Enjoy the video. Ooh, scary.
A little bit slippery.
Spending time in nature was not the only reason that I wanted to go to Net. No, I also wanted to go to buy the mug of the century, which you'll see slightly later on in this vlog. And then we went for a really beautiful roast, which you're about to see.
Such a massive.
I am vegan and also allergic to nuts, and this roast catered for both. And here is the mug. Is she not the most beautiful thing you have ever seen? Literally, if you can get yourself to Nep in Sussex, you need to. This is a hot chocolate mug. She is screaming for a hot chocolate in her. Love the whimsy. Hello YouTube, hello long form vlogs. 2025 was about vlogging every day and doing short form content, and in 2026 I want to slow down. I want to slow down in terms of the content I'm creating and, you know, connect with people a little bit more, showing a little bit more of who I am and my actual thoughts, rather than just what I'm up to. So I'm going to explore a monthly vlog, and I hope that you guys that have been watching for 2025 will follow along for the journey that will be 2026 and this new sort of creative expression. I'm really excited for it, and it's scary talking to this camera. There's lighting on and it feels scary and it feels kind of like imposter syndrome. And I'm like, this is for YouTubers. You're just a gal who's on the internet. But then I'm like, okay, but everyone's just a gal who's on the internet. So here we are. And this is one of my New Year's resolutions. And it's January, so January is all about new year, new me, or exploring how you want to transition the parts of you that you loved from the past year into the next year, which is, I feel like, a lot of what I'm feeling. But I guess I'm coming on right now to talk to you guys because it's the day that I finally feel ready to make my vision board. It is January 10th today. So last year I think I did mine on the first day of the new year, or maybe the second, and I was just so ready to go. The vision was so clear, and for some reason it's not been that way this year. I feel like I've needed a little bit more time, a little bit more hibernation, a little bit more of a moment to settle into 2026. And I kind of feel like the vision's still unfolding, to be honest, but I'm kind of hoping this big stack of magazines is going to help inspire me to think about what it is that I want to bring in and manifest in 2026. So I've got all these magazines. Hopefully they're not too full of ads and there's some actual, you know, beautiful inspirational images in here. And then I've got my trusty journal. This has seen a lot and it will continue to see a lot. But it's got some chaos notes of my goals and the things I want more of this year. So I'll be relying on this to help me draw out the vision from these magazines. And then I have my canvas, and I don't know if it's like bad juju to use the same one as last year or not, but I literally just peeled off last year's because I used blue tack, and I'm just going to use it again. So I don't know if that's like you're not supposed to, or if you are, but for me as a yoga teacher it's quite spiritual. There's a whole concept of Maya in yoga where like everything is an illusion, and there's a really beautiful saying that basically our entire life exists on a canvas, and that Maya is the starch that holds the canvas together, and we're actually just made of the fibers within the paper. And then the picture that goes on top of the canvas is Maya in action and animation, so the illusion playing out. And I think that's actually kind of poetic, to make sure that you've got a canvas that you can come back to kind of accept the detachment that you need for your life to continue being this magical place that, you know, at the end of the year, everything that you'd wished for and dreamed of will still just be something that you can peel off. So yeah, I guess my inner existentialist likes the blank canvas and me reusing it, but manifestation girlies, let me know if that's bad juju. I'll probably keep doing it anyway because I kind of like the spirituality of it, but yeah. So now cue time lapse of me building my vision board, which I don't think I'll show you. I might just tell you about because it feels maybe too personal for vlog number 1. But yeah, I'm excited for 2026 and I'm excited to have you guys join along. So thank you for watching. Before I sat down to put together my vision board, it all felt so blurry and far away. But the second I actually sat down and created space for my vision board, it arrived. And now I'm sitting here staring at it and I'm feeling so excited and connected to my year ahead. So sometimes all you need to do is sit down and start. I actually love winter. When you sit in and you allow yourself to hibernate and you watch the nostalgic movies and you relish in the first snow of the year, I think it helps you feel more connected. And this book for me is actually a big reason as to why I can romanticize January now. It is by Lydia, Millen, a fellow YouTuber, and also maybe an inspiration a little bit for me creating content in this way. But this book really helped me re-evaluate my relationship to the seasons rather than rushing through them. And I am reacquainting myself with her first book because for Christmas, my mum actually bought me her journal, and her journal really prompts you to engage with the weekly changes of the seasons. So here is me opening my journal and exploring it. So I don't think you'll ever see this, Lydia, but thank you for this beautiful journal and your beautiful first book, and just reminding us all that if you can connect to the seasons, slow down and remind yourself that January is for those long, crunchy, frosty walks, nostalgic films, and taking stock. As a yoga teacher, I like to test out potential new sequences or transitions or different movements on my own body long before I ever bring it into my classes, just to make sure that it feels fluid, it feels safe, it feels accessible for various levels. So this is me starting to explore how I could weave in a little pistol squat potentially, and as you can see, I've got the down bit sorted for the pistol squat, which is actually so much harder than you think, but as you see, I just do not have the up yet. So for now, we'll be exploring maybe just the down. So if you ever come to one of my classes in Brighton, maybe you'll be there when you're lucky enough to experience one of these pistol squat transitions. But yeah, letting you guys behind the hood of yoga a little bit here. We play around a lot before it ever comes to sharing the mat with you guys. Hello. Still learning how to talk to the camera in this way. Feels like weird sitting here with a ring light and a setup rather than just like phone in hand. But in spirit of the new year, here are some of the things that I've bought to help make my life better. Not that you need to buy things to make your life better, but here are some of my intentional purchases in January. So my friend Taylor, who I love very dearly, has started this thing called The Artist's Way. And I've told people to do The Artist's Way before. I've told my mum to do it. I've told my brother to do it. I've told other friends who seemed creatively lost to do it because I've heard all about it. And this is it, by the way. It's by Julia Cameron. I'm sure you've heard of it before. But I listened to a podcast years ago by a podcaster called Rich Roll, and he did The Artist's Way and wrote his book Finding Ultra, and I was obsessed with him at the time. And he isn't someone I'd necessarily define as an artist, but he's someone who you can really see his creative and productive spirit through the things he creates, and he put a lot of that down to The Artist's Way. And as a sort of way of coming back to himself. So years ago I was like, okay, it's definitely something you do when you feel the need to return to yourself. I did Big Magic by Liz Gilbert, and that also brings you back to your creative spirit. And I kind of always said that I'd leave the artist way for when I really felt like I needed a transitional period and some guidance in it. And I do feel like that's arriving. I don't think it's necessarily something I'll start in January, but I think my best friend doing it is making me realize it's something that is coming to me this year and something that I'll probably start. So I was walking past a Waterstones this morning and I thought, why not go buy it? So that's the first thing, or the last thing I've bought so far in January, but one of the first thing I'll show you about things that I think might improve my life this year. Another thing is, I'm sure we're hearing all about microplastics and how they're in our body and in everything. And I'm a yoga teacher, so I've started to be like, oh my God, all of my activewear is made of polyester and I sweat in it a lot. And I work out and I'm in yoga clothes and like exercise gear almost every day of the week because I also like go to the gym. So I was like, I need to start thinking about evolving my workout wardrobe. And then this really cute brand got Instagram advertised to me, as most things do. It's the pattern of purchases for sure. I think it's called Not Basic. Yeah, Not Basics. Which I don't discriminate between basic or not basic. You be who you want to be. But I'd actually been looking at a Lululemon pair of sort of yoga pants similar to these with the flare, little throwback to any of the other girlies that wore these kind of things in high school when you could get away with it. Clear sign that you went to a government-based school if you could get away with these. I'm sure the people in private school were not getting away with pants like this, but they make your bum look great, and obviously that's what you care about in the last couple of years of high school, and I will admit it. But anyway, so I was like, I need a throwback pair of yoga leggings, or pants as I call them. In Australia you call them pants. Sorry if you're not from Australia. But anyway, these ones are mostly cotton and they're like a chocolate brown. I will show them on in a sec, but they look great, they feel great. Still need to put them to the sweat test and see like how sweaty they're getting, because you sometimes, if you know, you know, and you don't know until you know, and you tend to know when you're in public. So yeah, we'll put those to the test a little bit more. So yeah, those are my purchase number 2, which is, yeah, stopping wearing microplastics. But like, I have invested a lot into my workout wardrobe over the years, so she's gonna be in microplastics for a lot longer, I'd say. But slowly we're gonna start transitioning pieces in and out as we go. So yeah, these are from Not Basics. I'll try them on in a sec, and yeah, I think they're good so far. And then the last thing is these shoes. Now, I've wanted these shoes for ages. I don't know why, because I'm not a rock climber and they look like rock climbing shoes, but I just love the vibe. I think I love like a quirky shoe, and I know that that's a meme right now, all the girlies that like quirky shoes, but I'm one of the girlies that likes quirky shoes. So I bought these on Depop because I am vegan. I'm a grey area vegan though. So what I mean by that is I will still wear leather. But if I can buy vegan, I do. These are Finisterre, and what's the other brand? Blundstone, and they're a vegan collab. So if I can buy vegan, I do buy vegan. But where I buy leather, I try and buy secondhand. So I actually got these off Depop. But sometimes I break that rule. That's very bad of me. But we all have our grey areas, and that's okay. So I got these, and I think they're really cute. And the reason I got these is obviously I think they're stylish, and I think they're fun. But they also have a Vibram sole and this like square toe. So they're giving your foot like more space for your toes to span out rather than shoes that kind of like crunch them in. So yeah, that's a little bit nerdy for me, but it's good for your foot health. And I think about that often when I'm in the gym and I'm just like trying to grip the earth and I'm in just like this big shoe and I'm like, these are like my cute way. But yes, I'm sure by the end of 2026, I'll be in those shoes where my toes are visible. So yeah, I'm sure that'll be in a later vlog, but I love these. I can't wait to work out in them. I can't wait to wear them out and about, but I need to spray them, and spraying them scares me when it's too rainy for me to wear them until then. But yeah, so they're the third thing I've bought, and they're gonna be good for my foot health. So those are the 3 purchases that I have made in the month of January 2026 that I think in small little ways are gonna improve my life. Here are the Not Basics leggings or yoga pants on. I think they look pretty good. I think they're comfy. There's a little booty reveal for you. And yeah, I think that they're gonna be a good addition. I think they're maybe more of a winter fit than a summer fit because they are quite thick. But yeah, I'm really enjoying them and I'll report back. Also, I'm really trying to slow down my mornings and put away my phone. I'll report back on it later, but these are snippets of my routine. Also, as much as I can, I love to get to a good coffee shop and sit there with a journal. I think that's how I've made myself be able to be the kind of person that journals most days. I take myself out for coffee. You have to habit stack, guys. You have to give yourself the reward. And now I love journaling in the same way that I love having a good quality coffee. Habit stack. It is where the beautiful place lies between reward and productivity, but like in like a cute chill way, not in like a aggressive Diary of a CEO way. Ew. This was my first day heading back into London for work. I have to head into London twice a week for work, but I'd had time off over Christmas, and we also don't have to go in December. And we hadn't actually had to go in to the office for the first couple of weeks of January because the office was randomly too cold. I was a little bit nervous to go back in because you know that overhead lighting be killing you, but it was actually, you know, this journey in was randomly so beautiful, and I do think that set me up right, being able to just be in the moment and be like, you know what, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. You can go into London. You can be a big girly and go into London. You lived here for 7.5 years. You can go in again for work. And it is nice to remain connected to that big city. I will love it forever, even if I no longer live there. Even if it is also the most overstimulating place ever when you no longer live there. I got into the gym not because of how I wanted to change my physical looks, but because I had a knee injury. So I think my relationship to training in the gym is always functional. It's about how can I improve my range of motion and what fitness goals do I have that I want to achieve. And this year, my main goal is to be able to get to the end of the year without needing a band for my pull-ups and my chin-ups. So that's what I'm training in the gym right now. So here's a clip of me doing that, and a reminder for you guys that your fitness goals should be based around things that are fun as well as and functional, not just on who can lift the heaviest weight and who can make their glutes look the biggest. Although those things are fun, there are other cool things to be working on, like can I do a chin up? Give it a go this year, maybe. I have my first ever PT appointment today. I've actually been going to the gym for like maybe 2 years at this point, but I've just kind of been making it up as I go along, looking at all the fitness girlies and their routines and cherry picking it, kind of treating it almost like a yoga routine. But I'm like, you know what? You go to the gym quite a lot and maybe you should make sure that you're doing it right. So yeah, I don't know if I'll film in there. I feel like I might feel too much of one thing at a time, but I will report back after my first ever PT session after being a gym girly for 2 years. And yeah, we will see if I've been doing it right or if I have actually just been doing it wrong for 2 years. So I'll report back. Okay, so I actually did try and immediately record something after and then deleted it or something, I don't know. So here is my summary of how my first one went. There was actually things that I was doing wrong, yes, and things that I could improve. So maybe if, like me, you'd been in the gym without any help for a number of years, it might be time to have someone check to make sure you're doing things right. I literally wait till the last 11th hour to get my hair done. Look at that regrowth. Look at it. I'm basically brunette again. But let me tell you, by the time I get it done, I am so ready to pretend that I'm a natural blonde for 3 weeks. And the process is so funny to me. Also, I could not read this book because actually my scalp was burning the entire time. The on-scalp bleach girlies know how intense it actually is, and I forget every time. And this is me color checking just to like make sure it wasn't too crazy. And yeah, this is the final product. I love it. I love her.
So much time.
Look, I have a new hat. Ali's with me. This is my first time talking to this camera, like out in the world, by the way. Yay! We're probably filming our forehead. Look at my new hat. I feel very Lana Del Rey.
Very Lana Del Rey.
Here is my new hair, because I didn't show you yesterday. I love it. He did an amazing job. So now I get to be a natural blonde for the next 3 weeks or so. Ali and I are off to do the Brighton to Lewis walk. And this is me being we don't always need to wear activewear girly. In my new outfit where I look like Kim Possible. So come on the walk with us. Oh my god, so cute!
So cute.
We are on the Brighton to Lewis walk! Lewis!
Little landscapey way.
Video. Gorgeous. Made it to Lewis, and we obviously went straight to go check out the castle there. If you've not been to Lewis, you need to. The whimsy in that place, be whimsying. And then obviously there's just beautiful sights everywhere. We also went flea market hunting, shopping and antique hunting, and it was just so beautiful. Here was one of the cute little shops. If you haven't been to Lewis, check it out. Taking my new shoes out for a spin the second the rain stopped, because I have not sprayed them yet, which is probably a crime from me. Still getting used to actually talking to the camera in a more chilled out, long form way where you can sit in space and time a little bit more and allow there to be a little bit more space. So I thought I'd just turn on the camera and talk about how January is going, and kind of how I'm feeling for 2026, because that appears to be what's on my mind a lot. I feel like, so I'm doing dry January, and I think when you're doing dry January and you're kind of like staying in quite a lot and you're in that hibernation mode like I am, don't mind my January skin. She is doing her own thing, and that is fine. Thank God for concealer though. So yeah, I feel like January is a time where I just love to go inwards, to be honest. I like to think about what I want from my year, what I want to let go of, what I want more of, but also I am like a serial morning person. And I don't mean that in like a flex way. I mean that in a like I wake up and I'm like, why am I awake way? I'd like to sleep more. It's like every year I write on my goals. I've gone through like one of these so fast, by the way, because of what's happening with my skin right now, but we move. Also I have undiagnosed ADHD, so these are going to be chaotic. My brain's going to go to 100 places. But thank God my forehead's cleared up, almost. You can kind of see the remnants of the scars of it, but like something happened. I tried the Paula's Choice cleanser, because I was using the liquid exfoliator, and my God, it just ruined my skin barrier. Like, or something happened at the same time as me moving on to that. Also, you don't need a beauty blender, just use this, is my opinion. As a, like a normal girlie doing normal makeup. aka fighting for her life out there with her skin. Anyway, so my skin broke out and then peeled, and it was crazy. So I've had to just completely go back to doing the bare minimum and then just like covering up the rest of my face that was loving the chemical exfoliant, covering all the pimples that have now started there. Anyway, back to January reflections now that we've spoken about what's been happening with my face. Also, I got my hair done, which you'll have seen earlier, and this is her, and I love it. I love that I'm like, this is what I'll look like grey one day. Like, I enjoy it because I just basically pay for grey hair now, and then it settles and it goes away from this like grey pearly colour to something more platinum. But I love that. I love the Phoebe Bridgers vibe for like a couple of weeks from my hairdresser, and then the Aussie shampoo toner, if you know you know, just makes it a beautiful platinum colour. By the way, I'm using the Milk Beauty blush. That was Nars Custard Creamy Concealer. This blush is my life. I love it. If you guys haven't got onto the Milk blush range, you have to. But anyway, how am I feeling about January? January is the one where I just like want to go inwards. I want to do very little. I do dry January because I feel like every year you need to have periods where you don't drink, especially if you have a brain like mine and a body like mine. And by that I mean I have like a few chronic health girly things, and I just need to give myself a break from drinking. And when I drink, I don't drink much anyway. I drink like a tiny little bit, and I don't know what brand this is. Amuse. There's like a really cute Korean beauty place in Brighton, which I go to and pick up their little bits, and their lip stains are amazing. And I feel like, yeah, I need to take time off drinking every year, and I normally take off January and then sometimes all the way through to March, and then I normally take off the month before my birthday, and then I normally take off October or November. So I like to spend about 4 or 5 months of the year sober, just because I feel like it really helps me feel clear in my mind, and like healthy and happy in my body. But yeah, January reflections aside, or January reflections, I feel like it's a moment where I go inwards. I'm doing dry January. I'm normally a little broke or not wanting to spend money anymore after Christmas. So I just kind of like take that moment to start thinking about my year. I was a project manager for years, so I feel like I love looking at my key milestones and my goals and thinking about how we iterate and how we get to them. Over the years, I've transitioned from being like achievements focused to being more feelings focused. So like my vision board is all about a feeling in most cases, and I love that. And I think that gives you a more grounded plan and vision for your year that's more about how you're going to feel in the moment rather than the thing you're going to get to. Because I focused for so long on the thing you're going to get to. But if you don't focus on the feeling about how you'll feel when you get to the thing, then when you get to the thing, you don't really feel anything and you find yourself just wanting the next thing. So by shifting it away from that and into feeling, I feel, she's saying feeling a lot, but I do really feel that you feel more present and more grateful when you're in those moments. So anyway, January, as you can tell, is a reflective month for me, as you'll see from the journey we've been on. But all I want from this month is like nature walks and good food and sleeping a lot, because I feel like, back to the sleep point, I don't sleep very much, and I feel like there's something about winter and late winter where my body finally rests, and I know that the second spring hits and we're like on that early riser thing again with the daylight, my energy will move with that, even if I don't actually have the energy for it. So yeah, I'm taking this moment to hibernate. I'm a bear. Key thing to know about me in January, I'm a bear. Okay? So I'm in bear mode. I'm going on walks with my friends. I'm starting to finally like really notice the nature that's around me in Brighton. Like, I've lived here for almost a year now, which is crazy. That'll be a whole other thing that we talk about next month. But yeah, just being like, wow, I actually live on the edge of the countryside. Like, I walked from my house in Hove to Lewis yesterday. It took like 3 hours. It was amazing. And I was just like, I can just walk into the rolling hills of the countryside. I lived in London for 7 years. You can't do that in London. Like you can go to some nice parks. I lived in Clapton. I lived around what I would used to call the Clapton countryside. Like it was gorgeous, but it's just so nice to be like, oh, I'm actually in nature now, like in a real way. I can look, there's rolling hills and there's nothing but rolling hills. There's something about that for like your brain. And then looking out and just seeing an endless landscape of sea and just being like, wow, I am connected with the earth. So I feel like I'm connected with the earth. I feel like I'm connected with my bed. And I feel like I'm coming back to being connected with myself. I chose to like start doing analog mornings as like one of my New Year's resolutions this year. And by that I mean like not having my phone by my bed and not using it within the first few hours of waking up. Because I wake up naturally quite early, I was like, I need to just refocus and reset myself. And I'll go into it in more detail in like another video, but I think that's been a game changer. So I'm feeling hopeful for the year ahead, and I'm feeling excited, and I'm really grateful that January has been able to be a bear mode month for me.